Hey everybody, this is LOUDMIKEDXB and I've got somebody special with me here today. That's my brother Jay. And we are right outside Swee Lee. That's one of Singapore's most important instrument stores. It's the premier place for getting good gear out here in Singapore. This is where you get your stuff, right?
Yeah, most of the time.
I heard that they have some really good Fenders in here, some really good selection of pedals as well. We're going to check out what they have in store for us and hopefully have a good time trying out a few vintage Custom Shop Fenders. You keep walking, you keep talking. All around you we have drum kits, pianos, but the guitar section alone, which is right behind me, is very, very interesting. As you can see, they've got Jazzmasters, they have Mustangs. I'm guessing that these ones over here are the Player Series, and all the way towards the back of the store are the more exclusive or the more high-end guitars, which we're going to check out. Our objective for today is to have a look at the best Telecasters that you can buy in Singapore, and I have a feeling we're going to find something very special back there.
Fender guitars. I was adamantly a Gretsch fan because of the hipster points, but when I played a Strat for real, like seriously sat down and played a Strat, it's the most ergonomic, most comfortable guitar I've ever played, and of course, nothing sounds like a Strat. The tone is, you can't replicate organically the tone of a Strat. It's just so good. Here's a question that divides the fans. Like, what do you think of intentionally relicked guitars?
Oh, very interesting. I have to. My point of view on that is very similar to how I think about distressed jeans. You know, like you buy them, they look like they've been worn for decades, but in fact, you just bought them off the shelf like that. That is how I feel about it in general. And then you get older, and then you find out that there's no way you can get this kind of effect on newly purchased guitars. I mean, there's no way you can get this with a genuinely newly purchased guitar and trying to wear it out over the years. It's just not going to happen, especially if you don't leave the house to play, right? If you're only in the house. An important point is that new guitars will not, I very much doubt they will let you achieve this kind of distressed appearance after a few years, because I think they have, the nitrocellulose, they have some kind of coating now that is very tough, very very thick layers, so you're not going to get this kind of effect even if you were to try to play it for the next 70 years. It's not going to happen. So for you to really have this kind of effect, you can only do it with genuinely vintage guitars that were bought in the 70s, in the 60s or 70s. The chances of you being able to own that, unfortunately, is quite slim unless you're very privileged and money is of no object to you. To us mere mortals, this is the closest we can get.
The Tele was actually my first Fender. I had a made in Mexico Tele from, I don't know if it's considered vintage now, but it was from 2001. It has a nice patina now, it looks really nice, but the Tele, like the Strat, very ergonomic, super comfortable to play, not fussy at all, super simple layout, the electronics are super simple. And I don't know, it just feels comfortable to play. I really like the Tele.
So this particular model almost harks back to the no-caster era of Telecaster, which is back when they couldn't call it. It was originally called Broadcaster, and they couldn't call it that because I think Gretsch
yeah,
already had a guitar that was called Broadcaster. So there was a time when they're still trying to figure out what to call it. And they didn't yet have the name Telecaster, so there were a few production runs of this guitar that simply had no name. It just said Fender, and those were called no-casters. But if you look over here, you can see how very vintage this looks. It really looks like a family heirloom that's been kept in the closet for many years. Okay, this one here is quite interesting. This is a, what is this, Jay? This is a Jimmy Page. This is the Jimmy Page mirror Telecaster. I'm actually not familiar with Jimmy Page's Telecaster, but Jay was telling me that this is the one that had mirrors stuck on it. Well, at least that's the one that Jimmy Page had. If I'm not mistaken, I know that the legend of Telecasters when it comes to Jimmy Page is that a lot of people assume that all of his guitar tracks in the recordings for Led Zeppelin were all from a Les Paul. But in fact, he played a Les Paul on stage, but a lot of the recordings were done using a Telecaster. This is a 1959 Stratocaster Greg Fessler Custom Shop Master Built. This is for 13K Singaporean dollars. Look at this, the way it's been aged. This pretty much looks like it's had a lot of good times back in the 70s.
Can't keep a drum kit at home, so this will have to do. Check it out, folks. This is the Roland V-Drums acoustic design from the same makers of your beloved TD series. But this one includes the wooden shell, so it looks like a real acoustic drum kit. And it sounds like a dream. Definitely one on my wish list.
And look who we found here at Swee Lee on a Saturday afternoon.
Is it afternoon already?
Yeah. What are you looking out here for?
String cleaner.
Strings.
Yeah.
Is that for your guitar?
Bass.
Bass.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay, cool. Right.
Yeah. I mean, I would buy the stuff online, but I just want to kind of get a tactile feel of it.
Yeah. Is this your favorite music store in Singapore?
Yes. Yeah, pretty much. They do pretty much everything that I kind of value. You know, the basic stuff, strings. I usually order stuff from them online, but you know, some things you just need to check out.
So that was Swee Lee, guys, and we definitely had a good time. What was the highlight of your visit there, Jay?
Actually, that American Ultra Telly was really nice.
The Telly?
Yeah.
What did you think of that Strat? That really nice looking vintage distressed
The Master
Strat?
Build?
Yeah.
I felt very nervous playing it on my lap. Felt very comfortable to play. It was really nice.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with Fender guitars, you know, like even though they're super expensive or they're super affordable, one thing they all have in common is that they're very playable.
Yeah.
They're such a pleasure to basically, you know, strum, play a few leads here and there. So definitely that was a wonderful visit. Really had fun here in Singapore, and hoping that we catch you guys on the next store visit, wherever we find ourselves in the world next. Peace.